Have you ever wondered what really went down in the Pride Lands before Simba was even born? We all know the story of Mufasa and Scar, the noble king and his jealous brother. But what about their father? Who was he, and what did he think of his two sons? The official stories don't tell us much, but the Lion King universe is a rich backstory, hinted at in books and spin-offs, that paints a fascinating picture. Let's dive deep into the lore and imagine a powerful, untold story. The moment King Ahadi, the father of Mufasa and Scar, saw his sons for the first time. According to the book series The Lion King, 6 New Adventures, the father of Mufasa and Scar was a king named Ahadi. He was a strong, wise ruler with a magnificent dark mane and piercing green eyes. His queen, Uru, was a beautiful lioness with reddish-brown fur. When their 2 sons were born, the entire Pride Land celebrated. But for Ahadi, this moment was more than just a celebration. It was a glimpse into the future of his kingdom. Let's imagine that scene. King Ahadi approaches the den where Uru is resting with her newborn cubs. He sees 2 tiny balls of fur. One is golden sturdy and radiating a quiet strength. Even as a newborn, he looks just like Ahadi imagined a future king would look. This cub, of course, is Mufasa. Ahadi's heart swells with pride. He sees the sun-kissed plains, the thundering herds, the circle of life continuing strong and unbroken. In Mufasa, he sees a reflection of himself, a successor, the embodiment of a bright and prosperous future. But then, his eyes fall upon the other cub. This one is smaller, weaker, with a darker, scruffier coat of fur. He doesn't have the same robust look as his brother. As Ahadi looks closer, he sees the cub's eyes, also green like his own, but holding a different kind of spark, a flicker of something he can't quite place. This cub is Taka, the lion who will one day rename himself Scar. What would a king, a father, think in this moment? Ahadi, being a practical ruler, might have felt a pang of concern. In the wild, strength is survival. Mufasa was clearly the stronger of the 2. It was natural, almost instinctual, to favor the son who showed the most promise for leadership and for carrying on the royal line. He might have thought, Mufasa will be a great king. He has the strength, the presence. And Taka, Ahadi might have seen him as the spare, the second. It's a tough position in any royal family, let alone a lion pride where the law of the jungle rules. Ahadi might have loved Taka, of course, but his primary duty was to the kingdom. And the kingdom needed a strong leader. So, from the very first day, the seeds of a tragic destiny were sown. Mufasa was the chosen one, the golden child. Taka was the afterthought, the shadow. This initial reaction from their father could explain everything that followed. Think about it. Mufasa grew up with the full weight of his father's approval and expectations. Ahadi likely spent more time with him, teaching him the ways of a king, how to patrol the borders, how to talk to the other animals, how to read the wisdom of the stars. Mufasa was groomed for greatness, and he grew into the role perfectly. He became confident, charismatic, and noble because that's what his father saw in him from day one. Meanwhile, Taka was left on the sidelines. He probably tried to get his father's attention, to prove he was just as worthy. In the book, A Tale of Two Brothers, it's mentioned that Ahadi was often busy with royal duties and could be short-tempered. He once broke a promise to go hunting with Taka to deal with a drought in the Pride Lands, taking Mufasa along instead. Imagine how that felt for young Taka. His father chose his brother and the kingdom over him. Again, this constant feeling of being second best, of being overlooked, would have festered inside Taka. He was smart, maybe even smarter than Mufasa in some ways. He was cunning and strategic, but these traits, without the guidance and validation of a father figure, twisted into jealousy and resentment. Every time Ahadi praised Mufasa, it was like a small cut to Taka's soul. Every time he was pushed aside, the wound deepened. The name Scar itself is a symbol of this pain. Taka got a scar after tricking Mufasa into a confrontation with a buffalo named Boma, hoping his brother would look foolish. The plan backfired, and Taka was the one who got hurt. When he came home, expecting sympathy, what did his father do? According to some versions of the story, Ahadi was furious, not just about the reckless plan, but also about what it represented. He's the one who cruelly nicknames him Scar, a permanent, physical reminder of his failure and his jealousy. Can you imagine the sting of your own father branding you with your shame? That was the moment Taka died and Scar was born. It was the ultimate rejection. Ahadi, in his frustration, might have seen the scar as a mark of Taka's inner darkness, a darkness he had perhaps glimpsed on the very first day he saw him. Instead of helping his son heal, he named him after his wound. So when we look back at Ahadi's initial reaction, it's not just a father looking at his two sons. It's a king looking at the future. He failed to see that Taka's cleverness could have been a huge asset to the kingdom. As a royal advisor, a leader of the Lion Guard, a strategist stacker had potential, but Ahadi, blinded by the dazzling promise of Mufasa, couldn't see it. This early dynamic, this prophecy self-fulfilled by a father, sets the stage for the entire tragedy of the Lion King. Scar's evil isn't born from nothing. It's cultivated over years of neglect and comparison. He wasn't born a monster. He was made into one by a family and a father that couldn't see past his brother's golden mane. Mufasa's reign, though noble, was built on a foundation of his brother's pain. And the fall of the Pride Lands wasn't just caused by one lion's jealousy. It adds so much depth to Scar's character. He's not just a simple villain who wants power for power's sake. He is a deeply wounded individual who spent his entire life trying to earn the love and respect he was denied from birth. His entire life was a desperate attempt to prove that the weaker cub, the second son, was worthy after all. And in the end, his methods were monstrous, but the root of his pain is something we can all understand on some level. The need to be seen, to be valued, and to be loved for who we are. This story of Ahadi, Mufasa, and Taka is a cautionary tale about parenting, about favoritism, and about how the smallest actions can have the biggest consequences, echoing through generations. The fate of the Pride Lands was sealed not on the day Mufasa died, but on the day he and his brother were the most heartbreaking scene in the entire film. The stampede. This is where Scar's villainy reaches its peak. He orchestrates the entire event, using Simba as bait. He places the cub in the gorge, triggers the wildebeest stampede, and then deceptively alerts Mufasa. The brilliance of this plan is in its cruelty. He forces Mufasa to perform the ultimate act of fatherly love, sacrificing himself for his Sunan, then uses that very act to seal his own fate. The moment Scar whispers, "Long live the king," and throws Mufasa from the cliff is forever burned into our collective memory. It's the ultimate betrayal, brother against brother. But Scar's evil doesn't end there. What he does next is arguably just as wicked. He confronts the traumatized, grieving Simba and twists the narrative. He convinces Simba that Mufasa's death was his fault. "If it weren't for you, he'd still be alive," he hisses. This is psychological warfare at its most brutal. He doesn't just kill the king. He destroys the prince's spirit. He burdens a child with an unbearable guilt, ensuring he will never return to claim his birthright. Run away, Simba. Run away and never return. With those words, he banishes the true king and clears his own path to the throne. It's a masterclass in manipulation, turning tragedy into his personal triumph. Years pass, and the Pride Lands wither under Scar's rule. The vibrant kingdom we saw at the beginning becomes a barren wasteland. This is a powerful visual metaphor. Mufasa ruled in balance with the circle of life, but Scar's reign, born of greed and selfishness, disrupts that balance entirely. The land itself reflects the soul of its king. While Simba is living a carefree Hakuna Matata lifestyle with Timon and Pumbaa, his home is suffering. He has suppressed his past, hiding from the guilt and responsibility that Scar forced upon him. He has forgotten who he is. It takes the combined efforts of Nala Rafiki and a vision of his father to finally break through Simba's self-imposed exile. The remember who you are seen is pivotal. Mufasa's spirit reminds Simba that he is more than his past mistakes. He is his father's son and the one true king. This is the moment Simba finally begins to shed the guilt and embrace his destiny. He stops running from his past and decides to run toward his future, toward his responsibility to his pride and his kingdom. The final confrontation between Simba and Scar is electric. It's not just a physical battle. It's a battle for the truth. When Scar tries to use the same psychological trick again, trying to paint Simba as the murderer in front of the whole pride, Simba is ready. He accepts responsibility, showing his growth and maturity. But the tide turns when Scar, overconfident and gloating, whispers the truth to Simba. I killed Mufasa. That's the moment the spell is broken. The guilt that has haunted Simba for years is lifted, replaced by a righteous fury. The truth is finally out, and the pride sees Scar for the usurper and murderer he truly is. The fight on Pride Rock, silhouetted against the flames, is epic. Simba, fueled by justice, finally overpowers his uncle, and in a final, poetic moment, he offers Scar the same choice Scar gave him as a cub: run away and never return. But Scar, true to his nature, chooses deceit one last time, leading to his final downfall at the hands of his once loyal hyenas. He is consumed by the very chaos he created. The story of Simba and Scar is a timeless warning about the corrosive power of jealousy and the long journey of healing from trauma and guilt. Simba's victory isn't just about reclaiming the throne. It's about reclaiming his identity. He had to face the darkest moment of his past to restore balance, not just to the Pride Lands, but to himself. It's a powerful narrative that shows us that you can't run from who you are, and that true strength lies in facing your past and embracing your rightful place in the great circle of life. Thanks so much for watching. What's your favorite moment between these two iconic characters? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite films. See you next time.